Good evening. I'm Republican-Herald sports editor Leroy Boyer. Tonight, we were to hold our second annual Athletes of the Week Awards presentation right here in the Majestic Theater in downtown Pottsville. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus pandemic and restrictions from COVID-19, we weren't able to do so. Instead, we put together this video to honor the 27 Athletes of the Week and this year's Republican-Herald All-Area Players of the Year from the fall and winter sports until the coronavirus pandemic shut down high school sports in March. Before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Schuylkill Valley Sports. With Little League Baseball and Softball and Teen League Baseball just starting because of the coronavirus pandemic, see the folks up at Schuylkill Valley Sports in the Fairlane Mall for all your equipment and apparel needs. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show. First up, this year's Athletes of the Week. The first athlete of the week, Pottsville quarterback Damon YOST. A senior, YOST completed 9 of 13 passes for 170 yards and 5 touchdowns, all in the first half, as Pottsville opened its season with a 42-7 win over Hazleton area. It was the start of a big season for the Crimson Tide. YOST finished second in the area in passing yards behind Williams Valley's Bryce Herb, completing 163 of 258 passes for 2,684 yards, 36 touchdowns with only 9 interceptions. Pottsville went 8-2 in the regular season. Then they defeated Wilson, Bethlehem Catholic, and Allentown Central Catholic to win the District 11 Class 4A title. The Tide's hopes of a state championship ended in the PIAA quarterfinals with a loss to Jersey Shore in triple overtime. Our second athlete of the week, the first one in September, was North Schuylkill football quarterback Jaden Leiby. A senior quarterback, Leiby passed for 167 yards and 3 touchdowns and ran for 130 yards and another score as the Spartans defeated Shamokin in what was the first game on North Schuylkill's new artificial surface at Spartan Stadium. Leiby had a big season for the Spartans, who won the Schuylkill League Division I championship. He rushed 136 times for 1,294 yards and 18 touchdowns, and he completed 54 of 98 passes for 718 yards and 8 touchdowns with only 3 interceptions. Leiby suffered a serious injury in the second half of the Week 10 game against Pottsville and was lost for the season. The Spartans ended up as the District 11 Class 3A runner-up. Leiby was an all-state selection by the Pennsylvania football writers. Our third athlete of the week for September 10th was Blue Mountain volleyball player Myah Conway. A junior right-side hitter, Conway had 41 kills, including 21 against Pottsville, with 22 digs, 13 aces, and 7 blocks, as Blue Mountain opened the season 3-0. Conway was an all-area selection to the first team, helping Blue Mountain win the Schuylkill League Championship for the second time in 3 years. She was an all-state selection on the Pennsylvania Volleyball Coaches Association all-state team. The athlete of the week for September 17th was Schuylkill Haven soccer player Mike McGoey. The Schuylkill Haven sophomore scored 7 goals in a span of 4 days, including a game winner in double overtime to beat Tri-Valley. Schuylkill Haven resurfaced its stadium turf over the summer, expanding the lines for soccer. That's going to create more opportunities for McGoey to add to what was already an impressive soccer scoring goal amount. The athlete of the week for September 24th was Minersville Scott Schwal. A senior quarterback, Schwal completed 33 of 45 passes for a school and District 11 record, 492 yards and 5 touchdowns, while rushing for another score and picking off a pass in Minersville's wild 70-49 loss to Schuylkill Valley. Schwal capped his career with an outstanding senior season, completing 156 of 274 passes for 21 touchdowns with only 8 interceptions. He threw for 2,249 yards, finishing his career as Minersville's all-time leading passer with 4,471 yards. He had 34 career touchdown passes, and as I said before, that 492 yards, not only a school record, but a District 11 record. That's impressive. Schwal was a Maxwell Mini-Max Award recipient, and he's going to continue his football career at Lebanon Valley College. The athlete of the week for October 1st was Schuylkill Haven's Albe Evans. A senior golfer, Evans shot a 7-over par 79 to claim his 3rd straight Schuylkill League individual golf championship and lead the Hurricanes to a Division II championship. Schuylkill Haven restarted its golf program this season, much in part to Evans, who competed the last 3 years as an individual. Evans went on to win the District 11 championship a week later. You'll hear more about Albe later on in the program. The athlete of the week for October 8th was Pine Grove's Colin Lookinbill. The senior running back rushed for 437 yards in a pair of wins, gaining 188 yards against Juniata on a Monday night, then running for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns on Friday night at Williams Valley. It was a good season for the Cardinals and Lookinbill, who went 8-2 in the regular season and lost to North Schuylkill in the District 11 Class 3A semifinals. Lookinbill finished the season with 190 yards and 190 carries, 1,316 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Frank Gaffney's second year as the Cardinals head coach was a good one. Expect good things to come in the future for Pine Grove. The athlete of the week for October 15th was Schuylkill Haven's Kobe Brish. Senior running back went over the 7,000-yard mark for his career, rushing for 267 yards and scoring 7 touchdowns in a win over Minersville, all in the first half. Brish etched his legacy as one of the greatest running backs not only in Schuylkill County history but District 11 history, for rushing for 1,793 yards on 214 carries this season, scoring 34 touchdowns. Headed to Bloom to play football, he was elected to the Big 33 game as a long snapper. He finished third all-time in District 11 history in rushing yards with 7,645 and is the District 11 record holder with 116 career touchdowns. Brish was named to the Pennsylvania Football Writers All-State team for the 3rd straight year. The athlete of the week for October 22nd was North Schuylkill's Cori McCormic. A standout cross-country runner, the junior ran a course and meet record 17 minutes 39 seconds in winning her 2nd straight gold at the Schuylkill League Cross Country Championships. McCormic went on to finish 2nd at districts with a time of 19:10 at DeSales University, then placed 5th at the state meet in Hershey with a time of 18:44, 48 seconds faster than her time last year. In 3 years at the state meet, McCormic has placed 20th, 7th, and 5th. The athlete of the week for October 29th is Blue Mountain's Olivia Haas. A sophomore, Haas ran a course record 18:18 to become a 2-time Class AA gold medalist at the District 11 Cross Country Championships. Her time was the fastest in any of the 3 classes among 262 female runners. Haas went on to place 4th the following week at the state meet, 59 seconds faster than her freshman time, finishing in 18:24. You'll hear more about Olivia Haas later in the program. The athlete of the week for November 5th is Tamaqua's Nate Boyle. The senior running back rushed 50 times for a school record 391 yards and 5 touchdowns in the Blue Raiders District 11 Class 3A semifinal win over Notre Dame Green Pond. He scored on runs of 8, 3, 7, 7, and 2 yards. Boyle and the Blue Raiders had a football season to remember, winning the District 11 championship, their first in school history, getting their first ever PIAA victory in the playoffs, and reaching the state semifinals before losing to eventual champion Wyoming area. Nate Boyle rushed this season 243 times for 1,896 yards and 30 touchdowns. He caught 34 passes for 430 yards and 3 touchdowns. On defense, he had 5 interceptions. He was also their place kicker and finished 2nd in the area with 251 points. He was the Republican-Herald's All-Area Co-Offensive Player of the Year. The athlete of the week for November 12th was Nativity's Samantha Heen. Junior outside hitter collected 33 kills and 22 digs as Nativity won 2 matches in the PIAA Class Single A tournament. She had 20 kills and 9 digs against Lidditz Christian after posting 13 kills and 15 digs against Sacred Heart Academy. It was a really successful season for Heen and the Nativity girls sports programs, which reached the PIAA volleyball championship match and were still alive in the basketball playoffs when the coronavirus shut down the sports scene. The athlete of the week for November 19th was Pottsville's Kevin Dicello. A senior running back, Dicello rushed 21 times for 154 yards and a touchdown as Pottsville defeated Allentown Central Catholic 34-7 to win the District 11 Class 4A championship. Dicello finished the season rushing 155 times for 945 yards and 8 touchdowns, despite missing the first 2 games of the season. Dicello was a workhorse in the district playoffs, rushing for more than 100 yards in all 3 games. Switching to the winter sports, our athlete of the week for December 17th was Tamaqua's Emma Kuczynsk. A senior guard in basketball, she recorded a double-double in each game as the Blue Raiders opened the season 4-0 and won the Lady Raider Tip-Off Tournament Championship. Kuczynsk had a monster season in her senior campaign, reaching the 2,000 career point total in her final game. She was named the Republican-Herald's Girls Basketball Player of the Year. The Athlete of the Week for December 24th was Mahanoy area's Danny Lawrence. A senior 195-pound wrestler, he had a 13-second fall to key a win over Upper Dauphin, then went 5-0 to win the DKI tournament in Bloomsburg. Lawrence had a monster season. He placed third in the state at 195 pounds and was named the Republican-Herald's Wrestler of the Year. The Athlete of the Week for December 31st was Nativity student and Pottsville wrestler Cal Schoffstall. A senior 132-pound wrestler, he went 5-0 to earn gold at the 49-team Trojan Wars tournament, improving his season record to 17-4. The Pottsville wrestlers had a breakthrough campaign, getting several wrestlers to states. Schoffstall's season, unfortunately, ended a little bit before that due to injury. The Athlete of the Week for January 7th was Pottsville swimmer Zaidian Van Orden. A junior, Van Orden won 3 events at the Schuylkill Sprint Meet, breaking the meet records in the 100-yard and 200-yard freestyle. Van Orden qualified for states for the 3rd straight year. The state meet for the AA swimmers was not held due to the coronavirus pandemic. Van Orden was named the Republican-Herald Boys Swimmer of the Year. The Athlete of the Week for January 14th was Marian basketball player Tyler Fritz. A 2-time All-State basketball player, he averaged 31.3 points per game as the Colts defeated Nativity, Lourdes, and Schuylkill Haven to remain unbeaten at 11-0. Fritz finished his career as Marian's all-time leading scorer, scoring just less than 2,000 career points. He was named to the All-State team for the 3rd straight season. The Athlete of the Week for January 21st was Tamaqua's Bronson Strous. A senior 285-pound wrestler, he became a 2-time champion at the Schuylkill League Wrestling Championships and was voted the outstanding wrestler. Strous also qualified for the state meet. It was a big sports season for him as a Tamaqua athlete. He was a key offensive lineman and defensive lineman in the Blue Raiders football championship run that got to the state semifinals. The Athlete of the Week for January 28th was Tamaqua's Lucas Gregoire. A senior forward in basketball, he scored the 1,000th point of his career and averaged 22 points in 3 games, including a 27-point game Thursday and a 23 in an overtime league win Friday. Gregoire had a gigantic game in the Blue Raiders' win over Schuylkill Haven in the Schuylkill League semifinals. The Blue Raiders qualified for the state tournament, notched a pair of wins, and were still alive when the season was canceled due to the pandemic. The Athlete of the Week for February 4th was Pottsville basketball player Mason Barnes. A senior guard, Barnes averaged 29 points in 2 Schuylkill League Division I victories, including scoring a career-high 43 points in a win over Blue Mountain to help Pottsville clinch an 11th straight division title. Pottsville won the Schuylkill League title once again this season and finished as the District 11 runner-up. Barnes, who was headed to Dicello to play basketball, was named the Republican-Herald Boys Basketball Player of the Year. The Athlete of the Week for February 11th was Marian swimmer Maddie Dando. A junior, she won the 100-yard backstroke and the 50 backstroke at Saturday's Schuylkill League Swimming Championships, improving to 6 for 6 at the league meet. Dando also won the backstroke at the District 11 Championships, qualifying for the PIAA Championship meet for the 3rd straight season. The Athlete of the Week for February 18th was North Schuylkill basketball player Myah Wetzel. A junior guard, she scored 22 points, including a team-high 13 points and 4 3-pointers in the title game, as North Schuylkill beat Mahanoy area 64-61 and Jim Thorpe 49-46 to claim the Schuylkill League Girls Basketball Championship. A very young team, the Spartans were the surprise of the Schuylkill League Girls Basketball circuit this year. They then won the District 11 title and qualified for the state playoffs. Expect big things for Wetzel and the rest of the Spartans next season. The Athlete of the Week for February 25th was Shane Quick, a Nativity student and a wrestler at Pottsville. A senior, he captured the 195-pound title at the District 11 Class 3A Wrestling Championships. He had 3 falls, including one in the finals, and a major decision in 4 bouts, pinning Nazareth's Sammy Sasso after trailing in the finals on his 18th birthday to win District Gold. Quick was one of several Pottsville wrestlers to qualify for the PIAA Wrestling Championships. The Athlete of the Week for March the 3rd was Nativity swimmer Dylan Schreffler. A junior, he became the school's first male swimmer to win a District 11 gold medal when he placed first in the 50-yard freestyle in 21.84 seconds at the District 11 Class AA Swimming Championships. Schreffler earned a silver medal the following day to qualify for the state meet in 2 different events for the 2nd straight season. The Athlete of the Week for March the 10th was Panther Valley basketball player Brandon Stilatino. A senior guard, Stilatino hit season highs of 28 points and 8 3-pointers in Panther Valley's PIAA Class 3A boys basketball first-round win over Dobbins Tech from Philadelphia, becoming the program's all-time leader in three-pointers. The Panthers shocked the District 11 3A playoff bracket, winning the district title, then notched a state playoff win. Our final athlete of the week for the 2019-2020 school term was Nativity girls basketball player Caitlin Zementowski. A junior shooting guard, Zementowski scored a team-high 21 points and hit 5 three-pointers in Nativity's 63-58 Class Single-A second-round victory over Greenwood at Milton Hershey High School. The previous amount of three-pointers she had in a game all season was 3. The Golden Girls were still alive in the PIAA Class A playoffs when the coronavirus pandemic shut down the sports world for the rest of the school term. It would have been great at this point to unveil spring sports athletes that were athletes of the week, but unfortunately, the coronavirus pandemic ended those hopes. What a great bunch of high school student athletes. Now, let's take a look at this year's Republican-Herald All-Area Players of the Year for the fall and winter sports. Our 2019 All-Area Players of the Year in boys soccer were a pair of seniors, Thor Huth from Jim Thorpe and Mitchell Lesh from Pine Grove. The Coach of the Year was Tri-Valley's Darren Wenrich. In girls volleyball, the co-players of the year were senior Jenna Dubosky of District 11 champion Panther Valley and junior Samantha Heen of state runner-up Nativity. The Rookie of the Year was Marian sophomore Ashlyn Klitsch. The Coach of the Year was Nativity's Jennifer Daubert. In girls soccer, our co-players of the year were junior Lexi Macaron of Schuylkill League champion Pottsville and senior Madeline Purcell, Minersville's all-time leading scorer. The co-coaches of the year were Pottsville's Bob Stock and Bob Evans. In football, our co-offensive players of the year were a pair of seniors, Tamaqua's Nate Boyle and Upper Dauphin's Macklin Ayers. Both squads won district titles this year. Our defensive player of the year is Penn State-bound senior linebacker Tyler Elsden of North Schuylkill. The Rookie of the Year is sophomore quarterback Cody Miller from Nativity, while our Coach of the Year is Sam Bonner of Tamaqua, who guided the Blue Raiders to the District 11 title and a berth in the state semifinals. In the winter sports, our Wrestler of the Year is Mahanoy area senior Danny Lawrence, who finished third in the state at 195 pounds. The Coach of the Year is Pottsville's Gary Keener. In swimming, our male swimmer of the year is Pottsville junior Zaidian Van Orden. Our female swimmer of the year, Blue Mountain sophomore Olivia Haas. And the Coach of the Year is Blue Mountain's Rob Mara, who guided the Eagles to their second straight, both boys and girls, District 11 AA titles. In girls basketball, our Player of the Year was senior Emma Kuczynsk of Tamaqua, a 2,000 career point scorer. The Rookie of the Year was freshman Cameron Mengel of North Schuylkill. And the Coach of the Year was North Schuylkill's Rich Wetzel, who guided the Spartans to the Schuylkill League and District 11 3A titles. In boys basketball, the Player of the Year was Pottsville senior Mason Barnes. And our co-coaches of the year are Schuylkill Haven's Fran Murphy and Panther Valley's Patrick Crampsey. I first met Don Friday when I was covering the Lebanon Valley College men's basketball team in the early 1990s. Pat Flannery was their head coach, Mike Rhodes was their star player, and the Dutchman went on to win the 1994 NCAA Division III National Championship. Friday started as a graduate assistant under Flannery. He was a sponge of knowledge, and his personality worked well with the players and the other coaches. He became Flannery's top assistant, stayed with Flannery through '94 at Lebanon Valley, then followed him to Bucknell, where the two helped Bucknell beat Kansas in the NCAA Division III National Championship. In 2003, Friday got a head coaching job of his own at Lycoming. He had head coaching stints at Lycoming and St. Francis before becoming the Penn State Harrisburg men's basketball coach 6 years ago. This season, Friday's squad had its best season ever, going 21-8, winning the Northeastern Athletic Conference Championship and making the NCAA Division III tournament, where they knocked off number 6 John Hopkins in double overtime. Friday was named the NEAC Coach of the Year and the ECAC Division III Coach of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest speaker is Penn State Harrisburg men's basketball coach Don Friday.
Good evening, and congratulations to the award winners of the Republican-Herald and Schuylkill Valley Sports All-Area Athlete Program. This is a celebration of the Coal Region's best and brightest. There are so many talented young men and women who are out here this evening that we're recognizing. You've separated yourselves in the athletic arena, and over this period of time, you have represented your family, your schools, and your community. I would like to remind you of the great responsibility that comes with this recognition. Remember, as you go out to the world beyond, you will be judged to a higher standard on how you behave, how you react, how you perform in the classroom, and how you behave with handling success and handling failures. These traits will serve you well throughout your lifetime. As I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of very successful athletes in my career, the values and the ethics and the lessons you learn now will serve you well into your life as a husbands, wives, fathers, mothers, and community leaders. I'm amazed at the coverage the coal region still receives through the Republican-Herald. That's not the case in today's ultra-electronic age, where high school sports has fallen victim to their staffs being cut. What Schuylkill County has here with the Republican-Herald and the commitment to covering the stories and telling the neat values and the way the fabric of communities is built is a real blessing to have. Nowadays, in some of the bigger areas, you're lucky if you get a one-page or a one-line sports blurb and a box score. You really feel there's a community in the Schuylkill County area, and I know that Leroy Boyer and his staff take great pride in telling all your stories and how you handle the successes and the adversity. It really makes the coal region proud. For those we are here to recognize, some of you will be heading off to college, perhaps trade schools, or even going into the workforce. As you navigate this step into this journey, I'd like to give you some things to think about to be successful. The first thing has to do with working hard. It's not just going to be able to work hard, you must be able to work hard and work smart. Be the one who stands out at your job, or be the one who's going to stand out at your next college or on your team. Do more than's asked. Show up on time. Be enthusiastic. And when you do things, just like you do as an athlete, exhibit it with a high degree of energy and enthusiasm and compassion for your teammates and for the mission at hand. And the best way to get better, listen and watch and grow in a direction of the people who are the forerunners in that industry, or on your team, or in the classroom. If you want to be like them, you have to behave like them. The other part, as you go into the world now, your time is going to become more valuable and more at your discretion. So you have to make sure that you're in control of your time and your resources. Budget your time. No more flying by the seat of your pants because you have to think ahead. Moms and dads, coaches, mentors, they may not be there to point you in a direction. So you have to really go out and champion yourself and empower yourself. And remember, everything in moderation. Study in moderation, plan ahead. Recreate, sports in moderation. Video games, social responsibilities, everything in moderation, as well as sleep. Do it all the right way so you don't run down. And I can say in the last couple of years, Fortnite has ruined many a good college GPA and many a good job promotions. If you're choosing athletics at the next level, I'd like to remind you of a couple things. Don't go in there right off the bat thinking it has to come quickly for you. Don't think about it as a job. Build a career. Take this as a marathon, not a sprint. For some of you who are underclassmen, you have more time to go at the high school level. For you graduating college seniors, a couple things of advice to you. If you are ready to go to college and playing in the athletic level, remember this. College coaches, they play favorites. And what I mean by that, the most skilled, the most unselfish, the most coachable, the most do whatever it takes to win, those are the kind of people that coaches have with favorites. So make sure you're a favorite. And at the same time, as you get there to these things, understand, hey, what's your role? Understand your role, master your role, and do your role with great passion. Be a superstar at whatever role your team needs. And I would say you have to be ready for that challenge also, because when you get there, there may be 3 or 4 other players at your position who were all league or all region players that want your playing time. Or it could be football, it could be softball, it could be tennis, whatever it be, you're going to run into challenging people. Here are some random bits of advice that I've tried to live by and try to give my players on a day-to-day basis, and I'd like to share a couple things with you. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So as you do things, find the best. Surround yourself with the smartest students or the most academically successful students. Find the hardest working player on your team or your school. Surround yourself with him or her. Find the most successful person that can maybe be a public speaker or is good at the piano if the piano is important to you. And surround yourself with them because you're the average of those 5 people. And if you want to win, find winners. 4 things I like to think about, I try to share with my players all the time. Successful people, successful players, the kind of people coaches love to have. Successful people, they don't blame, they don't complain, they don't make excuses, and successful people need to be told only once. They're the kind of guys that we look for in our program at Penn State Harrisburg. As we go through this program, and I know there's a lot of great student athletes and stories in here tonight, I think this all comes back to when Leroy Boyer reached out to me to be part of this tonight. The first thing that came to me was the pride and the passion of Coal Region grit. The brand of the Coal Region. To be able to come back home, really a special thing for me. You know, Leroy mentioned about my time at Lebanon Valley where we won a national championship. We did that with Coal Region guys. And we always tried to err on the side when a Coal Region kid had the grades and the ability and the interest. We always looked really hard at them. And I know a lot of programs throughout the Mid-Atlantic nationally look at the Coal Region. So you have a great brand and a great pedigree to come from. But what is the Coal Region? Hey, you live in an area where grit, blue collar, stick-to-itness, perseverance, win at all cost, but win the right way are in your DNA. There are people before you that have set this bar really, really high. And we've got to make sure we continue to recognize them. The Elsie Tolans, the Bill Flynns, the Coach Davises at Schuylkill Haven, the LaFay Hopes, the Rod Wrens, all great, great coaches. And now today you have the coaches like the Dave Mulaney's and different people throughout the region. Set that bar high. One of the young men and one of the young people that are in this tonight that is a Coal Region person, Mason Barnes from Pottsville High School. It's a little special to me. My father-in-law, Pete Kuczynsk, was created a scholarship 5 years ago when my father-in-law passed away. And each year it's given to an outstanding student. Mason Barnes was the recipient of that award this year. And what Pete Kuczynsk stood for, he stood for showing up every day, punching the clock, bringing your hard hat and your work pail, and getting things done. For his teammates, for the name on his jersey, and the people in his community. When he came out of high school, he was an All-American football player. He was a great track athlete, ran into Penn relays. He had countless letters in a bound to go off and play college. One of them was University of Miami. One of those opportunities was going to Louisiana to play in an All-American game. He couldn't do it because he didn't have the opportunity for 2 reasons. Number 1, he had to stay home because he didn't have the money to travel to those places. And 2, his family of 6 brothers and sisters, they needed him on his coal truck to make sure the family was able to provide and have food and put food on their table. So my point to all this was that's the kind of opportunities that our players in the Coal Region have had over the years. In today's light, those opportunities, you have to take advantage of your opportunities. Make the big time where you're at. There's a lot of great grandparents and families and friends that have been part of this Coal Region spirit that I've talked about. So as you do these things and you go out into the world and you start telling people where you're from, you wear that Coal Region hat very, very proudly. And remember, the people that came before you, they gave back. Make sure you give back to this Coal Region too, right? Do it the right way. The way you act, the way you conduct yourself, the way you behave, the way you treat people, it all comes back. But know your roots. Hey, in conclusion, all of you are here today because of love and commitment from somebody who's really cared about you. Your parents, a guardian, a grandparent, a teacher, a mentor. They've given a lot to you. And I'm sure you're thinking at this point in this crazy time of COVID, how do you exactly give back to thanks? Well, I got an idea for you. If you want to thank those people that have been really influential in your life, go out and be the best version of you. Do it the right way, be the best version of you, and anybody that's invested in you will take the greatest amount of pride in seeing you be successful. I thank you so much for your time. This has been a great honor to be able to speak to so many talented people here. I can't thank again my teachers at St. Clair Area High School and the school district that helped make me the man I am today and show me a way with education. I'm grateful for that, and I'll be forever a Coal Region member. God bless the Coal Region. Thank you and good night.
At this time, we're breaking new ground at the Republican-Herald with the presentation of our first Male Athlete of the Year award. This year's Male Athlete of the Year shot a 7 over par 79 at the Schuylkill Country Club in September to win his third straight Schuylkill League Individual Golf Championship. He was the main reason Schuylkill Haven reinstated its golf program since 2011, and he led the Hurricanes to an 11-1 record, the Schuylkill League Division II title, and a third-place finish in a District 11 AA team tournament. At the District 11 tournament, he shot a 10 over par 82 to finish tied for the lead, then sank a birdie putt on the first playoff hole to win the District 11 individual championship. In basketball, he finished as Schuylkill Haven's all-time leading scorer with 1,760 points, averaging 20 points per game this season and draining 83 pointers. He led Schuylkill Haven to a 20-6 overall record, their first Schuylkill League Division II title since 2006, a runner-up finish in the District 11 AA playoffs, and a berth in the state tournament. Because of his golf talents, he became the first Schuylkill League golfer since 2009 to earn a Division I scholarship, and he will continue his career at Fordham University. This year's Male Athlete of the Year is Albe Evans from Schuylkill Haven. Congratulations, Albe.
Thank you, Mr. Boyer. I appreciate it. I'd just like to thank my teammates, my coaches, my parents, and Schuylkill Haven Area High School for giving me this opportunity. Without them, I would not be where I'm at today. Thank you again, Mr. Boyer. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next up is our Female Athlete of the Year. This year's Female Athlete of the Year comes from a family used to winning gold medals. It's no surprise she's followed in their footsteps. In cross country, she won her second straight District 11 gold medal in a DeSales University course record time of 18 minutes and 18 seconds, the fastest time posted by any of the 262 runners that day, and 52 seconds faster than the District 11 Class AA runner-up. At States, she was fourth in 18:24, 59 seconds faster than her freshman time when she was fifth in the state. Moving to the winter, she shined in the pool, becoming the Schuylkill League's best female sprinter. At the Schuylkill League Championships, she won 4 gold medals. At the District 11 Championships, she won 2 gold medals and 2 silvers, qualifying for states in 3 events. This year's Female Athlete of the Year is Blue Mountain sophomore Olivia Haas. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for presenting me and choosing me for this award. And I want to thank my friends and my family, and especially Coach Yak, Mac, and O'Brien for their great coaching throughout the season.
Congratulations to Albe and Olivia on being the Republican-Herald's first male and female athletes of the year. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to tonight's video. Hope you enjoyed the show. There's a couple people we like to thank before we call it a night. Republican-Herald multimedia editor Dave McCune put together tonight's video. We'd like to also thank Community Outreach Director Tricia Taylor, who supplied the certificates and the plaques to the major award winners. Hopefully we'll have fall sports in just a couple months. The Athlete of the Week program will return. See the Republican-Herald for more details. Thank you for watching. Put together this video to honor the 27 Athletes of the Week and this year's Republican-Herald. I did it again.
You've only been saying it, for
My life. You know what's sad? I got to that point and I said to myself, don't screw up, don't screw up.